Okay, school. What was your most hated school subject?
It'd be maths, and I will tell you why. Because almost all the subjects that I like, I'm very sort of humanities-based person. Sort of literature, history, English, all those things. It's not about right or wrong. There's no sort of yes or no. You can argue the toss about everything. And if there's one thing I love, it's arguing the toss. Whereas maths, you are right or wrong, and it's all very clear guidelines to follow. And some people find that very sort of safe and nice, and they like how everything has a sort of like very like certain mathematical truth to it. I don't. I don't like the concept of it. I don't like the process of it. I certainly don't like the teaching of it.
No, maths was just awful. I remember sitting there and thinking, like, you have that classic thing, like, when am I going to need this?
Oh, yeah.
And you just think, like...
It's the whole idea of there's only one correct answer, and it's all formulaic. And my mum's got a degree in maths, and she loves that stuff. But I don't like there only being one answer. I like the more creative things where, you know, you can just walk in and you can draw a picture of a duck on a piece of cardboard and you can hand that in and they go, genius, right?
Maths. I hated maths. Partly because of the subject itself, but partly because I had a teacher that looked like an aardvark.
Who gives a shit? You know, it's pointless. Unless you're going to do another maths course, you don't need maths. That's why I always looked at it, and I told that to my teacher. He was enraged, but being the cocky little shit that I was, I said, well, give me one example of when you will need it, and he couldn't. To which he just kind of told me to stand outside and think about what I'd done. I was like, well, I thought that would have done. You obviously can't answer. You should go outside and think, you know.
Mathematics, because that was crap. For me, it was difficult. To me, mathematics is like a penis. Like, it's long and hard unless you're Asian, so it's like, I didn't bother with it.
Maths. Didn't understand a word, or a letter number, sorry.
PE or maths, I guess. Or science, or history, geography. I hated everything apart from drama and English, pretty much.
I don't know, like general studies was pretty shit. Wasn't it? Because they'd give you like essay questions on subjects you've just not learned.
RE, because it's a pile of shite. I'm sorry if I can't swear on this, but I hated RE.
No, you can swear.
Oh, I can swear. No, it was a pile of wank.
I used to hate science, like really hate it. Like, I'd rather be run over by a lawnmower than have to sit in a science lab.
We were about to take French, it was like year 8 or something, so about 13. She goes, right, once you step in the door, you've got to speak French for the whole class. And this happened to loads of people, and I just thought, no, how am I meant to... No, that's not going to happen. You walk in and you're like, I need to go to the toilet. She wouldn't let you go to the toilet unless you said it in French.
I think looking back, food tech was a bit of an oversight. I just thought, oh, cooking, that'll be useful, I'll probably need that. And all we did was just bake cakes for a while, and not that I was bad at making cakes, but it's a bit of a faggoty thing to cook when you're like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old male teenager in the Midlands. You want to be cooking like beef.
Because there ain't a subject called life, is there? That's what I always wanted at school. You had maths, English, science, all that bollocks, but you didn't have life where you just sat there, got in, and someone went, "What the fuck's going on? You know, what is all this?"
There's a reason why I'm on last. I'm Welsh, you're drunk. We won't understand each other. Right? Simple as, right? Anybody from Solent? This will work then. Who's staying in halls? Have you had that kitchen cleaning notice? People have that. The cleaners refuse to clean the kitchen. She's refusing to do her own job. What's this about? What other occupation would do that? You wouldn't have a plumber put in the radiator and go, well, I'm just giving you that now. You don't have to water yourself. Ridiculous. We got a fire blanket in the kitchen. And people got these fire blankets in the kitchen. Who wants to keep a fire warm? I thought the thing would save water. What's going on? Yeah, my voice is going, so if you see it coming, pick it up.
Did you have interesting teachers?
Yes, I did. I had an English teacher who was a semi-pro boxer and also a boxer journalist. And he thought he was the big man, and he had sex with someone from Big Brother. As you do, and kind of came in and told us all about it and how proud he was of having sex with someone. And I thought he was a bit of a loser, and He called me his little dwarf, and in return I called him my womanising cunt. And
like a couple of my art teachers, they understood my humour. My science teacher, because I was pretty good at science, we would joke about now and then, and he used to smoke weed a lot, so we had that connection. But I didn't know him about that, but I just knew that he did.
Well, so you didn't ever do it at the same time, like?
Oh no.
Yeah, there was a teacher called Mrs. Lewis Allison, and she looked like a man.
I had a couple of immensely interesting teachers. I don't know if you've ever seen the video for Another Brick in the Wall with the cartoon teacher mincing up the school children through school. Pink Floyd, a song from 1979, I think. But the cartoon teacher looked exactly like one of my teachers.
During the lessons, like, oh, does anyone want a brew? Right, Tom, you go to the shop, get some tea bags and we'll make a brew and stuff. And like, we'd just sit down and just eat biscuits and just chat and just drink brews. And it would always be, right, if the head comes in, just say we're studying things.
One of my science teachers in secondary school accidentally made a crater in the school playground because we were playing with flammable solids and just kind of accidentally blew the playground up, which was quite funny. He also exploded a tin can in the headmistress's face. She was alright, but he exploded it in her face. And he used to just like dick around with gas and stuff. It was the best thing.
My favourite teacher was my favourite person, because he used to be a drama therapist, and obviously when you come onto a comedy course you have to have some kind of varying degree of questionable mental health. But he was such a refreshing person to talk to, and like I could always confide in him and sit down and talk to him whenever, and he's so nice, and he's so good. At the end of term, like at the end of the year, he took us all to his house, which is this quaint little village, and like he's got a meditation room in his house, and we all had tea and stuff in his garden. He's like the nicest guy. If my maths teacher was like that, I would have liked maths more.
I had two PE teachers, male and female, one called Mr. Jolly, the other called Miss Good. Jolly Good, that's the tip of the iceberg. I had a librarian called Miss Reed, right? I had a food tech teacher called Miss Smith, first name Delia, didn't look a thing like her, and an RE teacher called Mr. Angel. And all of that is bang on true.
My history teacher was interesting because he didn't actually teach us history. He just played videos off YouTube and we just sat and watched those. And we were just sat eating in class. And then we introduced him to Flight of the Conchords, I'll Be the Racist Dragon. And so we watched that basically every day for the last term. And he would tell us about Albania. My friends would be so happy I'm talking about this. He would tell us about Albania and about how in Albania you can do whatever you want. Like there's no rules, there's no laws. You can go up to whoever you want and poke them up the bum with a fork.
I had a really cool English teacher. He was a Buddhist, and he was just this old little wrinkly white man. He was really cool. He was really got you into it. Like got me into literature, and he was one of the first person who gave me a book that I actually read and liked. And I was like, geez, I do like reading. I never thought that would happen when I was younger.
Mr. Lothman, for example, he was quite interesting because everyone in the school knew he smokes. Like everyone knows, but what he used to do quite clearly, he would say, "Oh, I'm just nipping off to the toilet, people," and he would go, and you can basically tell he's just sparked up a cigar in his car and thought, yeah, I'll save this half for next lesson, and gone back and then, you know, dropped his pen and go, oh, I've dropped my pen, and slip a bit of the cognac.
There was a few. My drama teacher, Miss H, she was Canadian and she'd moved to the UK, and she'd been involved in a lot of sort of big dramatic productions and things like that, and she's probably the first person that got me into drama, so I got a lot of respect for her. Interesting teachers. I don't know if it's interesting, but one of the most memorable teachers I had is an English teacher called Mrs. Tanfield, and she was a bitch.
My music teacher was an Italian guy called Mr. Godino, and one of my classmates, Doug, used to wind him up constantly, and there was a point where I wasn't there for this, but I heard about it, that the teacher just snapped because Doug was getting in his face. The teacher grabbed him by the neck and held him up against the wall and just shouted at him. He lost his job over it.
I had an IT teacher called Mr. Cross and he had a funny hand. He had a hand like that and had these tiny little baby fingers, and he used to touch you with them and just be like, oh God, all over your face, which was very creepy.
They used to use this glue, like this spray glue, and that it used to, so like, you know, like spray glue that you could get higher?
Yeah.
And apparently he found that when he used this glue in lessons, the kids' paintings would come out really good. So I swear this is true, I swear it's him that told me. I don't know if it was him or someone else, but I think it was him. And he said that at one point he just used to spray it around the classroom before the kids would come in. So they'd come in and do really weird artwork because they were high off this glue. And I was like, oh, why? Well, he told me that's what he told
So
me.
he drugged his students to do better work in class?
Yeah, pretty much.
No. It was all awful. It was all like, they had dreams of being writers and artists, and then now they're working Hull in a school. It was all idiots.
You need to teach from the fucking heart, and that's the problem with society, is the base level at school, it's all bullshit, you're taught bullshit, all you are is a fucking grade for their school. Like, you know, it's and then you look at society and it reflects it as a whole. No one is being real, man. And that reflects the teachers. There was no, I'm sure there were nice people out of school, but they're all like, their homework. But that's why I want to start my own school up one day. It's my dream to start, like, get every like parent who has open mind and say, look, we're going to build a school, and then my curriculum would be like the bollocks. Of course you have the basic maths and all that, but there'd be like, people would be free to like follow what they want to do, you know, like, and then the school would slowly build, and suddenly we have an island, and then it starts from there. We start making boats and spreading people around with open minds, and then eventually, in about 200,000 years, we'll have a good planet. It's a dream.
This is reminding me of the plot to Enter the Dragon. The island now.
And I just think it goes to show that like humour or anything, humour can aid pretty much anything in terms of like getting information across. And yeah, I loved history, and he was an excellent teacher. Other interesting teachers. I think another reason I hated maths is because our teacher was an alcoholic and she was utterly insane, and she got fired shortly after I left. Which was less fun than you'd imagine. You could hide, you know, whiskey or something. But yeah, I don't know, not many teachers stick out, but he did. Mr. Webster. Good lad, if you're watching somehow.
And media teachers, like, I think, like, I still now talk to them as well. I will go and take Ham and Onions, and I'll be like, look, you guys taught me media, you showed me what to do, you like, sort of pushed me, and this is what like, I've made out of it, like, and go to university and stuff. So yeah, I've had like, there's plenty of decent teachers. Like one that I can from is Mr. Hibbard. So if you watch this, Mr. Hibbard, top guy.
I have not apologised once in 13 years of police work after hundreds of wrongful arrests. Not once.
Well, I think you know what I have to do then. I want to take you off the case. You're a paid holiday.
Well, I'm sorry that you have to do that.
For the time being, until the heat dies down over that man you scalded half to death, if you'll pardon the pun.
I just don't understand what we did wrong.
You poured milk into the open wounds of a man you slashed with hot beverage. No!
We were trying to reduce the swelling.
Oh, Ham. I was wondering when you might pipe up. Seems you still have a lot to learn about law enforcement. Perhaps Terry Onions here is the wrong man to teach.
No, Terry Onions is an inspiration. I haven't felt a connection like this, not since my last partner, and we were together for 5 days. 5 wonderful days. She works at a local library. I had a couple of books overdue, but she let one slide because that's the kind of girl she was. It was so wrong, but it felt so right. I'm just a yin chief in need of my yang. So if you're gonna kick Terry Onions off the case, you might as well kick me off too. Otherwise, I'll just be running around in circles.
Okay, you're both off the case. Now get out of there, go home, and don't come back until you've learnt the meaning of the words mutual respect.